Hey guys, we are going to be going through questions 18 through 22 on the review in this video. These are all the questions that are over 11.3, so you can reference that part of your notes while looking at this part of the assignment. Let's see if I can zoom this in anymore. There we go. It's a little better. Okay, these first couple of problems, it's very simple. You're given everything you need, and you are doing the 1/2 AP formula, where A stands for apothem. So the length from the center of the polygon to one of the sides, not one of the vertices, but to the side. And then this is the perimeter. It's the apothem and the perimeter. So we're given the apothem, which is 10. The perimeter, we have to determine what that is. So we got to figure out how many sides there are. This looks like a stop sign. There are 8 sides. So we want to take 8.3 and multiply it by 8 sides. Let me grab my calculator real quick. So 8.3 times 8 is going to be 66.4. Okay. So my perimeter will be 66.4. So I can plug everything in. I have everything I need. 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So that 66.4 gets multiplied by 10, which then gets multiplied by 1/2 or divide by 2. So you end up with 332 units squared. But you just have to type 332 in. Okay. And this last one, find the area of this regular polygon. 1/2 capital A area equals 1/2 apothem times perimeter. My apothem is 7.5. My perimeter is going to be 26 times 3, which will be 78. And then we're ready to plug everything in. So A equals 1/2 7.5 times 78. So I can put that in my calculator. I'll go ahead and do 7.5 times 78. And then when I divide that by 2, I will, have 292.5 for my answer. 292.5. And that is going to be the area of my regular polygon. Awesome. All right, so we're moving on. That was number 19. We're going to move on to number 20. Okay, this one, we are given the apothem. We know it's the apothem because that's the line that's given. The side would be written on the outside. Okay, so remember, we have to create a triangle and figure out what the central angle is for this. And so the central angle is always going to be 360 divided by 2 times the number of sides, which is 3 this time. So 360 divided by 6 is going to be 60 degrees. So that is our central angle. So if you guys remember, this is going to be a problem that you use special right triangles on. So since we're using special right triangles, we need that formula. That's in our 11.3 notes. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So it's the leg root 3, and 2 times the leg. You can also write it as this, where it's n, 2n, in root 3. That works as well as a variable. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is label the sides of this triangle. So this is my long leg. So this is my leg root 3 over here. This is my 2 times the leg. And then here's my leg by itself. But what we need to realize is we're trying to find the area of this. So we need 1/2 AP. We already have A. This is my apothem. So all we're trying to do is determine the perimeter. So we just need the long leg so that we can figure out the perimeter. Once you have that long leg, you multiply it by 6 because it's only half the length of one of the sides, and there's 3 sides, and you'll have the perimeter. So if my leg equals 8 root 3 over 3, we need to take this leg and multiply it by the square root of 3, because that would make it the length of that side. So I'm going to take 8 root 3 over 3, and I'm going to multiply it by the square root of 3. It's square root of 3 over 1. So remember what happens when we take 8 root 3, or we take the square root of 3 and multiply it by the square root of 3. It ends up canceling out. And so you end up, I'm actually going to come down here and write it. It becomes 8 times 3 divided by 3, which is a beautiful thing because then these 3's cancel out. And so 8 is the length of this side. So 8 is the length of that half and also that half. So the entire side of one of the triangles is 16 units long. And then 16 times 3 is 48. So that's my perimeter. So my apothem is that. Apothem is 8 root 3 over 3. My perimeter is 48. Now we have everything we need to plug into our formula. So the area of my triangle, the area of my triangle is 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. Okay, so what we can do, we can multiply. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but you can take 8 times 48 and combine these, so we still have this 1/2 here. Multiply that 8 and that 48, and you end up with the 348 root 3 over 3. These don't go anywhere. And then we want to cut this in half, so we want to take 348, or I'm reading it backwards there. It's 384. We'll take that 384. We want to divide it by 2, which is going to make 192 root 3 over 3. And then when you divide 192 divided by 3, you will end up with 64 root 3. So 64 root 3 is going to be your answer. Okay? So I know that was a lot, so you may have to pause and go back. It's a pretty tough problem. Alright, same thing with this. We've got to use special right triangles. So 30, 60, 90. Leg, 2 times the leg, and leg root 3 are all right here. I'm going to connect that. We are trying to solve for this one, which instead of writing X, I'm actually going to change that. I'm going to label it like this triangle. So I'm going to label it as leg root 3, and 2 times the leg. Okay, we already have the apothem again, which we won't always be given the apothem. Sometimes we'll be given one of the side lengths. But in this case, we have the apothem, which is 15. We need to figure out the perimeter. So we have, you guys remember, we need to set 15 equal to leg root 3. We need to solve for the leg. We need to get the leg all by itself because that will that'll show us the length of that side. So we want to divide by the square root of 3. And then, uh-oh, can't have a square root on the bottom. So you guys remember what we did? We would rationalize, is what it was called. So we'd multiply by the square root of 3 over square root of 3. And then we'd end up with 15 root 3 over 3, because that would multiply out. So 15 and 3 divide, and 5 root 3 becomes the length of this side. So if half of one of the sides of this hexagon is 5 root 3, that means an entire side of the hexagon would be 10 root 3. So our perimeter is going to be 10 root 3 times 6 sides. So 60 root 3 will be the perimeter. And now we have everything we need. Our area is going to be 1/2 AP. So we're going to plug those things in. 1/2 times 15 times 60 root 3. So we're going to take 15 and 60, multiply them together. Get 1/2 times 900 root 3. Okay, because we need to cut that in half still. So 450 root 3 is going to be the answer, which is A. That's quite the question. There's a lot going on there. All right, you just have to use special right triangles to solve for those two. Number 22. So for these, you have to use trig. Find the area of the regular polygon using trigonometry. You're going to round your answers to the nearest tenth if necessary. All right, first thing we have to do is figure out the length of the side. Ooh, you know what? I may have skipped over this before. We also, at the beginning of 21, I forgot to mention this. I just went on. You know that this is 30 degrees. How do you know that? Because you have to do the 360 divided by 2 times the number of sides. So 360 divided by 2 times 6 sides. So the central angle is going to be 30. So, yeah, I forgot to say that. But it is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. All hexagons will be 30, 60, 90 triangles. All equilateral triangles will be 30, 60, 90. But here, we have a hexagon, or we have a heptagon, which has 7 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have to do the 360 divided by 2 times 7. So it's going to be an ugly little number. 360 divided by 14. Nope. There we go. 25.7 is our number in here. 25.7. So I'm actually going to draw it out here. It's a little easier to see. And we are looking for this. We are looking for the length of this side. So you're only going to, here's a hint. You're only going to be using trig on this trig part of the test, because you are never going to be looking for this side, and we either give you the apothem or one of the sides. So there's a little hint for those of you that are watching this video. You're always going to be using tangent. Because it's SOHCAHTOA, some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on apples. So T is opposite over, oops, got ahead of myself, opposite over adjacent, O and A. So tangent of my angle, always the angle, in the parentheses, equals x over 15. So since x is on top, we are going to multiply. If x was on bottom, we would divide the 15 and the 25.7. But we multiply. So always put your number first, 15, and then put your trig function second, whether you're multiplying or dividing. We're going to put that into the calculator. And this is going to give us the length of 1/2 of one of the sides. So 15 times, and then tangent of 25, nope, 0.7. We're going to get 7.2. X equals 7.2. All right, and go ahead and round that 7.2 to the nearest tenth. Okay? So it becomes 7.2. When you multiply that by 2, you get 14.4. That is the length of one of the sides of this polygon. But we want the perimeter, so we need to multiply it by 7 sides. So my perimeter is 100.8. My apothem, lowercase a, is 15. We're ready to plug everything into our formula. Area is going to be 1/2 AP. 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So it's going to be a big number. That's okay. 15 times 100.8 divided by 2. 756. Is that one of our answers over here? It is. Awesome. Okay, I know that was a long video for 5 questions, but there's just a lot to them. So that's all there is. Thank you for watching.